Hello everyone and welcome back to another math video. Today we're going to be talking about the volume of cubes and rectangular prisms in word problems. So similar to the problems that you see up on the screen here. Just a reminder that this is the normal version. If you want the speedrun version, where we go through pretty quickly, I'll link that in the description below. For your Ricasso Recap, you should already know how to calculate the volume of rectangular prisms. If you want a refresher on this topic, there'll be a video in the description below. Please go watch that before you start this lesson. All right, new lesson starts now. Here we go. So if you want to pause the video and read the problem. Okay, now that you have read the problem, I'm going to give us, with word problems, I always give a beautiful drawing. So, okay, so I just drew a glove here, perfect. So it wants to know the volume of the crate. So first, let's figure out the volume of each rectangular prism, okay? So each box here. So each box would be 10 times 5 times 3. That is 150 cubic inches. All right, so that's one box. And now let's figure out, it says the crate fits 5 glove boxes along its length, 5 along its width, 6 along its height. So in the crate, how many boxes can we fit? Well, 5 long by 5 wide by 6 high. So this would be 25 times 6 is 150. Okay. So now we know that this is how much one box, right? One box. This is how many boxes can fit. So let's just multiply 150 times 150, and that will tell us the volume of the box. So when you multiply that, 150 times 150, we get 22,500 cubic inches. All right, here's our cool clock for today, which means that it's time for you to practice what you just learned. Go ahead and pause the video and try these two problems on your own. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, here's my beautiful refrigerator drawing. And here's the work, and your final answer should have been 9,600 cubic centimeters. Okay, for the second problem, here is my wonderful drawing of a board game. Here is the work. Final answer should have been 31,104 cubic inches. All right, for this problem, if you want to pause the video, go ahead and read this. Okay, now that you've read the problem, let's talk about it. So for this one, it wants to know how many chocolate bars can Bernie fit into the shipping box. So let's start with 1 bar. The volume of 1 bar is 4 times 4 times 2, which is 32 cubic inches. So that's 1 bar. And they tell you the dimensions of the shipping box. Okay, so the volume of the whole box, is 24 times 16 times 12. Let's make that look a little clearer. Times, okay? Which is 4,608. So now, it wants to know how many chocolate bars can we fit in? Well, this is how much this is how much space 1 bar takes up. This is how much space I have total in the box. So we're just gonna divide, right? 4,608 divided by 1 bar tells me that I can fit exactly 144 chocolate bars into this, what is this, a shipping box, yes. All right, here's our cool clock for today. So it's time to practice again. Go ahead and pause the video, try these two on your own. When you're ready, unpause and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, here's my beautiful drawing of a cube. Here is the work. Final answer should have been 48. And for the second problem, here is my beautiful train drawing. Here is the work. Final answer should have been 90. All right, last type of problem, if you want to go ahead and pause the video and read it. Okay, now that you've read the problem, let's talk about it. So for this one, each wooden picture frame, so 1 frame, the volume of 1 frame would be 25 times 20 times 3, which is 1,500. The only trick with this problem is they tell you that she does 12 of these frames. So you have to take that 1,200, multiply it by 12, which is 18,000. So this is how much space all frames are taking up. Okay, all the frames take up 18,000 square centimeters. And they told you that the box is 30 by 25 by 25, which is 18,750. So the whole box. And the question was, what is the volume of the extra space? So she packs the frames in the box and it wants to know how much space is left over. So we would do 18,750 minus 18,000, which is 750 cubic centimeters. Okay. Also, I forgot to do a wonderful drawing. Okay, here's, this was, wooden painting, picture frame. So here's my picture. All right, beautiful. All right, time to practice. Go ahead and pause the video. Try these last two problems on your own. When you're ready, unpause, and we'll check your answers. Okay, now you've had time to work these problems. Let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, here's my wonderful drawing of a journal. Here is the work. Final answer should have been 2232, 2,232. And for the second problem, here is my wonderful drawing of a baseball. Here is the work. Final answer should have been 66,240. All right, that's it for today. I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.